allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, approved minutes of the 8-3 regular, excuse me? Yeah, a couple changes. Okay, yep. I should have run one off. Tell me what they are.
One would be where it says Josh Jordan. It's actually Jordan Greenwood.
Where did I get that? Okay. Minutes. Say the name again?
It's actually Jordan Greenwood
Okay.
instead of Josh Jordan.
Oh, this is why his last name was, because I don't know what his name is. Okay, that's the regular minutes?
Yes.
Okay. Sharon, okay. Any others? You say you had more?
I should circle that, I was reading it.
Did I say Josh Jordan? No,
Yeah.
I got the Jordan in my head, that's
You
it.
did, you had
Yeah.
Jordan in there, but.
I had that part, but I got, jeez. I tried to watch it on video and I couldn't find it.
I can't.
Actually, I did, I thought. Anyway. I'm losing it.
No, I can't think.
If you do, just let me know after and I'll change it. Okay.
Oh, the opinion was the other thing. Was it actually Gary's opinion? I can't find where it says it, but Gary's opinion, or is it because he was actually town clerk?
Because he was actually town clerk, it's not an
So
opinion.
instead of opinion,
That he said.
yes.
Okay.
Because he was the one here at the time.
Gary Snyder, yeah,
Yeah.
I will change that. Okay.
That was what I
Not
wanted
an
to-
opinion, it wasn't an opinion, it was because he was here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
I've got something with this paragraph. Says Collins said Robert St. Pierre had contacted her on behalf of the Legion.
Uh-huh.
I don't think we even talked about that in the meeting, did we?
Yeah.
When?
Yeah.
Last week?
Yeah, I brought it up because Jock said he called the people,
Larry,
what is it, the iron people,
Larry
and he
Patterson.
hadn't gotten a call back.
I must have missed the whole thing because I didn't even hear any.
That's what he said to me anyway, so I must have asked him.
The job's all done.
His job's all done.
I know, but I wished we'd had some input on it.
No,
We've had trouble plowing through there for 20
I'm
years.
sure.
And
No,
if the town's gonna pay for the rail being replaced, I
Yeah.
would have think we would at least changed it so we could have got through the sidewalk
Well-
plow and made it efficient for us to use.
you must have nodded off because I asked him.
Yeah.
I watched the video, I didn't see anything about it either.
Yeah, it was brief. It wasn't like a long
No,
discussion. Nobody
he
had
just
any
said, I
questions.
called Larry and he hasn't called me back yet.
Right.
Yeah, that was the end of it.
No,
It was
he
her
was-
statement, his
I'm gonna
statement.
say I must have been sleeping, I guess.
Okay.
I called him, he didn't call me back, but now it's done.
Right.
Well, the thing is, who says that's the town's to fix?
Robert St. Pierre.
Yeah, but
They made
what?
an agreement
So
years ago, they paid for it.
Where's the agreement?
I don't know. Why don't you look it up and.
I've looked it up. I had my wife go through the minutes and
You know
they
what?
don't, there's nothing in the minutes where the town agreed to.
He said
Yeah.
He said it was
agreed to maintain
27 years ago.
Why, no, anybody can say that stuff. I can dream up anything out of the
Well, you
blue and
must have
say
heard it if she
it.
looked it up 27 years ago. Okay, well, you know what? This is how I feel. When Gary Snyder or Robert St. Pierre or you or a board member or a person in town who has done things for this town so long, I believe them. And I think I said
So
at
if
the
somebody
time,
comes in and says the town needs to do this, you just automatically go and do it without even checking on
I
it to
didn't,
see?
Jock did, so what it was, Jock did.
Well, I don't know where it says the town of Richford is responsible for that, is all I'm getting at.
Well,
If we keep taking on all these things, I don't know, after a while, you just get overwhelmed with stuff.
They paid for the railing and the sidewalk back 27 years ago.
Well, they should have got
I can't
an
imagine him
easement,
making that
technically, they
up.
should have got an easement to put it in there, that should have been in writing. And then I would think they would have maintained it after that, because it's a hindrance to the town. That's my feeling.
Okay, well, that's what you should have brought up when
We've
we
been
talked
plowing
about
around
it.
that thing for 20 years fighting with it, and then it finally gets to the time where we can straighten it down and get it put in right so we can have it work for everybody, and then it just kind of breezes through and nothing happens. It just gets thrown back in.
Well, we all brought it up, we all remember talking about it.
Well, I don't. I watched the video again to make sure, and I didn't see it on the video either.
What would you change about it, Scott?
Make it wider.
Can you not, I just
Would have had to redo the
get
sidewalk.
through this.
Well, if you're gonna have to deal with it for the next 20, 30 years, I guess it's worth redoing the sidewalk.
What's your name, please?
Jerry Tatro.
Gary Tate, yeah, I didn't recognize you. Come on down.
Have a seat over there.
I don't know, I guess it's too late to do anything, any changes in it now, but I'd just like to know why the town is responsible for it. And I'd like, if they made the agreement, where's the agreement? That's all I'm saying.
Maybe it was a verbal agreement.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You were, 6 months ago, this one hand helps the other in this buddy system, you said it's gotta go away. We gotta,
No, I think we all need to work together in this town, actually, more so than we are.
well, the buddy system, with you pat my back and I pat yours.
Oh, no, that's different. You're talking, no, she's talking the other way. She's talking, everybody work together,
Cooperation, yeah.
cooperate. You're talking, let's not pat
Well, I
each
just
other's
think
back.
if that was done 27 years ago, they would've wrote up some sort of agreement, would be my thought, if
It's
they
gotta
wanted
be
the town to
somewhere.
maintain
Maybe
it.
that's something you can send off, maybe Gary would remember or something like that was in.
I know there's nothing in the minutes about it, in the town minutes.
We didn't believe Gary on anything else, so guess we didn't ask him.
Does Robert have anything to say that they made an
Oh,
agreement?
maybe they do, because
Maybe
it's
they
down
do.
at the Legion, because Robert saves things, I don't know, he
Well,
probably.
that's all I'm asking.
Robert told me that the Legion had to pay for the first time the railing was going in. After that, the trustees told him that the town would take care of it. That's what he told me.
Like I
So
say, you can tell anybody anything.
I guess the time to discuss this is when we brought it up at the last meeting.
Well, I would've if I'd have heard it, and then I watched the video, cause I missed it, and I still didn't see it on the video, so I'd like to know when we talked about it. That's all I'm
The railing
saying.
down at the Legion. Scott's trying to figure out, because he doesn't remember talking about it at the meeting, last meeting.
Okay,
I remember talking about it.
You gotta catch up to
Okay.
speed.
sorry, I'm running late,
Yeah, I know.
rough day.
You wanna take over?
Where are we at?
We're at the minutes still, because Scott had a question.
I'm here. This whole paragraph, I missed it at the meeting, I guess.
Well, nobody said anything to me 2 weeks ago when I sent the minutes out. That's why I send them out right after, so you can read them, and then say, that wasn't in there. But 3 people talked about it, remember talking about it. So.
I don't know, I don't remember talking about it in the meeting, but I remember hearing about it.
Oh, yeah, I heard about it when Jock told me a week prior, I guess.
So, do you want me to change the minutes somehow? I don't know.
Well, if you
I'm not
talked
gonna change
about it, I
something
guess
that we
not.
talked about. Okay.
I just still don't.
Did anybody rewatch the video from the last
He says he
meeting?
did.
I did.
He said he didn't see it in the video, but I could have sworn that we talked about it, because he answered her telling her who he was gonna have fix it, and then it's already fixed.
I said something to him, and he said, I called Larry, and he hasn't gotten back to me yet.
It was that quick.
Larry
It
said
was
he's
quick.
the one who put them in 27, 26, 27.
Oh, he did?
years ago.
He put it in?
Did we talk about it in executive session, maybe?
I wouldn't have written it down if we had.
I don't know.
Why would we have? We wouldn't have done it in executive session.
I don't know, I can't
I'll have to
recall if
watch
we
the
did
meetings
or
and add
didn't.
that. I'm pretty positive it was last meeting.
Do you want to make a motion, anybody, to pass them, or
I'll make-
some more?
I'll make a motion to accept them. I don't know if anybody else wants to, you want us to look into it more? And see if we can
I
find it
don't
on
think it'll do
there?
a whole lot of good. Gonna
Work's
just do
already
what
been done.
do what they wanna do anyway.
All fixed.
It's not a good comment. Thank you.
So we're gonna approve both sets of minutes?
You're just doing the first ones now. You want to do them both at the same time? Sherry wasn't here for
I
the
wasn't
second.
here for the second one.
So let's do the first one.
Okay, Sherry made a motion,
Jock second.
Jock seconded, everyone in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I need 3.
You said aye.
Good, okay. And I'll make a motion to accept the 8, 10, 20 minutes.
I'll let somebody else make a motion second.
I wasn't
You
here.
weren't here.
It was just me, Jacques, Scott, and Linda were here.
I'll second it.
That was the special meeting for the police.
And I can't seem to open up your emails still. Your emails don't open up, it goes through as win.
Oh, you're gonna download it now. I had to do it for you, just,
Okay.
You weren't getting any, like, the minutes? You got the minutes?
I got this one from Andy, but the one that you sent, I didn't get, and I came here and she printed them out for me. Kylie printed them out.
We good?
You didn't ask to approve?
Well, proof, aye.
Oh, everyone's in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'll move on to my stuff. 50 Fire Street, that's that tax sale property. Nobody got a game plan on what we're gonna do with that, or Linda, you had talked about sending
I talked to your lawyer the other day when he called. He said we can evict, give him 60 days. I've been by there a few times, I don't know if they're backing up, but the reason we need to evict, I mean, that's a harsh word, we'll work with them, is if somebody falls down in the
Yeah,
driveway,
we're liable.
we're responsible. And when we evicted at 21 Elm Avenue, somebody fell down the stairs right after. So I want to just make sure, or if it burned down, there's any number of things. I mean, we don't even have it insured, do we? Oh, we did.
I was waiting for the deed, I'm still waiting
Right.
for the property transfer.
Oh, so it's not ours, yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I will wait for the,
transfer.
I would wait for that before.
once the deed's here.
Send it, you want to do it by sheriff, you said.
Yeah, yeah, just to get the process going
Right.
without
But
being
60
harsh.
days, not, and
Exactly.
they've had a year.
And then what's the game plan for that property once we take possession of it? Are we gonna try to tear that down before winter? We have money budgeted for that, I just curious where we're at with it.
We,
And it's in that bad of shape where you have to tear it down, where you can't just go away, clean it all out.
we haven't been in it first
You
of
sell
all.
it?
You probably should go in it first.
That's what I'm thinking, because you never know. I mean, I know we're doing a great job and we're cleaning up Richford and stuff, but at the same time, if we got buildings and houses, because once that gets torn down, I don't know if it's gonna be any setbacks for anybody else to put anything else there. So this is gonna be another vacant lot.
At least the garage is,
Oh, yeah, the garage.
Definitely rough
I
and full of
drive by the
garbage.
lot, the garage has gotta go, it's gotta get cleaned up, it definitely, but to be able to go and actually take a look to see if it's got good bones, you know what I mean, to make sure
have
it's
you checked
sturdy.
it out much?
I don't even.
So if it is, I
Haven't
mean,
been
we
for-
could possibly salvage it and actually sell it, or even have somebody come in and redo it and sell it to somebody who needs a good home, a family that needs a small home, but a good home.
Maybe that Habitat for Humanity.
Exactly, so instead of just ripping them down and causing
So maybe
small
we oughta,
vacant lots.
we gotta at least get possession of it,
Yeah.
get them
Yes,
out of
do
it.
that first.
Also, when we were talking before, now Casella asked us for, more stuff, right? Like asbestos. We can't just tear it down like we used to.
Nope.
So why don't we wait till we know that?
Yeah, we need to know a lot of information before.
And, yeah.
Okay, 4 Corliss Heights, do you wanna talk about that property?
Right here.
He's right here.
Jerry?
Oh, okay.
I'm a little upset, actually. First bill I got, before I got the one that was in the lawyer's hands, was this one right here. Because you guys can't keep your books straight, I'm gonna pay $1,600 plus lawyer fees? No. You guys need to keep your books straight. How come I get this one right after you send me the one that I didn't get for 2 years? Like I told them, if you can show me where you guys sent me a bill in the last 2 years, I'll pay it. You didn't send one. 36 Eastern Avenue, every bill's paid. I can't pay a bill, I get $1,000 a month. I can't do it when you send me a $1,600 bill for 3 years that ain't paid because you guys can't keep your books straight. That ain't my problem, that's on you guys.
Well, I explained it to you the other day when.
Yeah, but you never sent us a bill, man, never. Got one in the mail, not one. Show me where you sent me one before you sent the one that got sent to the lawyer. Show me one.
Part of this happened before I came on board, but.
That's what I'm saying, you guys never sent me a bill, so I'm not paying it, and I'll take you to court, because you guys said you'd sell it to the school for $5 grand. I was gonna donate it to school for the $1,600. You guys are gonna try, I'm gonna take you guys to court if you don't eat that bill for $1,600. The $600 down there, I'll pay. Yeah, because you sent it to us so we could pay it. I never got the bill till I got it from the lawyer. That's not right, I'm sorry. You guys can't keep your shit together, I'm not paying for it.
When,
I'm not paying for it, I'm telling you, I will take you guys to court. You guys tried to sell it to the school for $5,000.
No, we did not. Who said that?
We can't sell
I'll
anything.
go back and look at the minutes, I'm not gonna say who
Jerry,
said it.
okay, doesn't matter, Jerry. We can't sell something we don't own.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
sorry, I heard that you guys
You might
tried.
have heard it on the street. but we can't sell something we don't own. We
Well,
don't own that.
didn't your son come here and try and ask us if we were interested in taking it back?
Yeah, I was gonna give it to you, I was gonna donate it to the school for that, if they want, cause.
Well, but
'cause you never
when we were
sent us a
talking to the
bill.
school would wanna remove it.
Yeah, we
So the
want
ca-
it gone, that's what we were gonna do, that's why.
Well, that's why
bought it,
we
but-
said the price would be if we paid the town paid the taxes that were due, and then the town crew tore the house down, and we paid to get rid of all the building, and then
Yeah.
filled it all in, we'd have about $5,000
That's my
in
whole
it.
point exactly, guys, and you can't.
So that's
say-
why we were
but you
gonna, that's
can't
my
send-
point of why I
You can't send me
said,
a bill 2 years after you guys figure out I owe you money, that's on you guys, not me.
well, I don't send out the bills, but I can't
I'm
believe
sorry.
that they waited 2 years to send you a bill. If you buy a
I
property,
got the bill that was already went to the lawyers, the only bill I've ever got for foreclosed sites, 36 Eastern Avenue, every bill's paid there. Every bill is on time paid, cause we
Right,
get it
we-
3 to 6 months,
We saw
every
that.
time.
We saw that.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I live on $1,000 a month, dude. I got stage 4 lung cancer. I was trying to help the town out. Now you guys are gonna put my name in a book when you don't even send me a bill, dude? No, I'm sorry. I'll take you guys to court. Play games with me. I'm not playing games.
The water bill, and that was the.
How can, it's condemned. We couldn't touch it for a year and a day anyways, plus it's condemned.
And I think there was some confusion as to when you took ownership of it, because last July is when you took ownership of it, and when you buy a property at tax sale, you're signing the paperwork stating that you're going to assume all of these bills if the property becomes yours.
Right,
And that's how Ron explains it, and that's why this year you got that tax bill, because we hadn't heard from.
But it says,
from
please
anyone this
forward
year.
to new owner if property is sold. I never got a bill is what I'm telling you guys. Now I got a $1,600 bill that's in the lawyer's hands that I gotta pay. That's not fair to me, guys.
I don't know what happened with the building, I don't, you know.
Do you guys think it's fair? Would you guys?
well, when did they take possession of the property?
Last July, and since it was after April 1st, it wasn't until this April when it became in the Tatro name, and that is why. But it should have been mailed to your residence along with the water bills, and I do believe the water bills were mailed there.
No, where? To where?
They were mailed to 36 Eastern.
We didn't get
Avenue.
one. Show me one. Show me one you sent besides the 36 Eastern Avenue one. Show me one of them.
What do you
Well, I
have?
think
What do you
that's
have
why there
there?
was.
This is the tax bill and this is the one from the lawyer's office with my
Can I
name
see the tax
in the book. That's the tax bill I got for this year.
Oh, this is the
That's what
current.
I'm saying, we couldn't go in it for a year and a day, so how could we get the water shut off? And if it's condemned, why are you even worrying about water? It's condemned.
I don't know if is the house condemned? Who condemned it?
That's
This
what
is
they
just-
said, but it was,
So this is just.
that's the way I took it. I wouldn't want to live in that place if you've been in there. I mean, I just wanted to knock it down because we got rats and everything else going into our home. It's ruining my value of my home. So I wanted it gone. I was gonna go work for Mark and have him to get rid of it, but now you guys, you know what I mean? If you would've sent me a bill last year for $625 or $650, we would've had it paid, we'd be all set. But now you guys want me to pay a lawyer's bill too, guys. It's not my fault. Show me where you sent me a bill, and like I told you, I'll pay it. I know you didn't send one, because if you would've sent one, it would be paid, and I wouldn't be sitting here right now. End of discussion.
The issue is that the names don't change on the properties until after April 1st, and this past April was when it changed into the different name. So last summer, it
It
was
was
still in
somebody
the
else's
former
name.
owner's name, but it was his property because they. got
Nobody
that.
forwarded me any papers, it says right here, forward to the
I
new
can't
owner.
speak to what they did before that, but I know that the water bills were sent there because the last time.
Where is one then? Show me one that got sent
When
there.
the meeting came in, there was confusion.
Show me
as to
one
what
where it got
property
sent.
that
You-
was for.
Show me
The
one where it
mailing
got
address
sent.
was 36 Eastern Avenue, but the account was Corliss Heights.
Who owned the property before?
I think it was.
I paid every bill for 36
Could
East
that,
Avenue,
could
guys.
that bill have gone to Rick, or
I'm
whoever?
sorry.
So at the end of the
Could that
day,
bill have
what
gone
do
to
you
them?
want done?
Well, I just,
If your end goal is you just want the house gone because
Yeah.
there's rats and everything else, and
if
you
you
were
just
gonna
wanna
give it
take
to
it
the
and don't make me
school.
pay nothing, and I don't know, I mean, if we kept, like I said, if you were gonna dock, if you would've sent that, ended
Yeah.
that one, because you never sent me a bill in the first place, you know what I mean, I would've paid this one, and then I would've went and talked to Mark and got rid of it. If you guys wanna deal with it, eat it, and tear it down and get it gone, then it's yours right now. I'll sign it over right now.
Okay, we have to stop, because this is a real estate thing, and we would have to discuss it ourselves.
Okay, I understand, I'm just telling you what I'm willing to
But you're,
do.
I'm gonna put in the minutes that you're willing to, you're offering it to the house and the property, whatever.
Whatever,
Yeah.
just to get rid of it.
Okay, and you're asking us not to charge you anything?
Yeah.
Just give it to us as an exchange?
The exchange.
Okay.
And we're even and no more problems. That's the only thing I wanted, it was gone. But now I got a $1,600 bill, I live on 1,000, you know what I mean? And then we gotta get it taken, that's too much money, I can't afford that.
We get
I'm not my mom. My mom would've came up here and wrote you a check. Sorry, I'm not mom. You guys ain't getting me. Sorry.
So if that's what you're asking us later in the meeting, right, in executive session, we will discuss that, the property transfer.
Yeah.
And we will let you know.
Okay.
And I already did go last, because your son came here to our last
Yeah,
meeting.
no, that's
So
why I'm
then,
here.
I went to the school and I said, hey, would you be interested in it?
And
It borders your
they want
property.
it gone too.
We would be willing to work with the school,
Okay.
because they don't have an excavator, they don't have a dump truck, they don't have guys who can take it
You don't
down,
have
but we
to,
do.
I totally understand that part.
And the $5,000 number was
I understand
because,
now that you're talking to me about it. I'm not arguing that no more. You told me what you had to do,
So that-
and it's the same thing was gonna be for me to get rid. That's my point exactly. I'm gonna pay $1,600 plus $600, and then I still gotta pay to get rid of it.
correct.
Now you see why I'm pissed? You know what I mean? No, that's what I was saying. I wasn't expecting a $1,600 bill. I was expecting taxes this year, absolutely.
Okay,
Okay, well,
Sounds
let's
pretty
talk
clear.
about it later.
yep.
And we'll make up our mind what we wanna do, and then we'll get back to you and let you know.
Okay. Do you have a phone number we can call you at tomorrow?
848-3585.
Yeah.
Yep. And I apologize if I got
That's
rude. It's
okay.
just
3 what?
3585.
Exchange.
Like I said, I apologize if I got rude. It's just, I just wanted it gone too, and then,
You want me to call you tonight if it's not too late?
yeah, just,
Okay.
yeah. I'm, like I said, I'm not mad in general. I
You're
just,
frustrated.
yes.
Okay, we understand.
Thank you.
All right, calm down now.
Alright,
Okay.
then do you guys need me anymore?
Nope, you're good, I'll give you a
Have a
call
good evening,
later.
and I
Thank you.
apologize.
That's okay.
You're fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Linda, solid waste, do you wanna talk about that a little bit? Cause you had sent me that email
I did,
about,
but I didn't hear anything from Tim.
From Tim?
Green went to a solid waste meeting last week. He said they were gonna discuss the transfer station, is that what you call it, when you bring stuff? Okay. And he said that solid waste, whatever the real name of it is very interested in doing something here. It wouldn't cost anything, and they'd man it.
Right.
We had a place.
Yeah.
So I said, well, let us know what
I think Tim's on a board or something.
He's on the board. He's our
He's on the board or
representative.
something, yeah,
No,
because
he's our representative.
Yeah.
Officially.
Yeah,
So I said, get back to us, but I haven't heard anything. I can call him tomorrow.
yeah, or I can call him.
Or you, why don't
I
you,
can
because you're
follow
on the,
through.
you're the
On
garbage
somebody's number.
lady.
Yeah, thanks.
That's okay.
What did you say? It takes about 16 months or something to get,
It takes 3 months to certify a property. We have to have a property picked out, and they are not gonna wanna come up here and certify. It takes up to 6 months, but it takes them about 3 months to get it set up.
so
They can get it set
9
up.
months, you're saying?
What,
Yeah.
what about the village, is it the village barn? What about there?
It's a possibility.
How is I know it's down by you guys, but the town garage down there, because you don't have the front gate, they can close it off. You know what I mean? So on Saturdays, the guys
What,
would
they
come and
would
open
come
it
once a
up.
week, maybe?
They come once a week. It'll be the same thing as Montgomery and stuff. I talked about it, I mean, I have all the list of all the different open properties we have in town, but a lot of them are just little small properties, that's what I was
Where do
mentioning.
they do it in
A lot of little
Montgomery?
Small properties.
Right at the fire station.
Yeah.
Going
Where's
up
that?
Is there a
242.
room there?
Just go up 242 on the right.
Oh,
Where they
okay.
used to go swimming
Oh,
out.
Didn't
well,
they used to do it at the
fire
state
station.
garage or something?
It's
No.
the fire
No.
station, because they have a big spot there.
I don't remember it at the state garage.
Wow.
They're right across from Jolly
No.
and Montgomery is where they do it, and it does really well. It doesn't have any.
No, not anymore now. I see that they're all set up at,
Yeah, they moved.
they
fire
move?
station.
They've been there for a
It
while.
used to be where the old, little school was.
It's not at the fire station anymore, or it is?
It is.
Yeah, that's where I saw it,
It
it was
used to
fire
be, it
station.
used to be the old school.
They have like
over
2 or
there.
3 dumpsters in a small little building.
Yeah.
That's what it
Yeah.
takes.
As long as they
Roll
don't
off.
leave anything there after, there's no reason why they couldn't.
No.
Well, I
leave
think
it.
don't a couple of the dumpsters stay there?
Yeah.
They would leave the dumpsters.
I think a couple
but-
of them do, like the one for maybe tires or sheet
Yes.
metal or metal.
Yes.
We'd have to lock it because people would just come and dump all the time.
But then, I mean, people would have a place to bring TVs, TVs, they'd have to pay a little bit, but they could bring the TVs and mattresses and metal and all kinds of stuff that you can't get rid of and people are finding out on the side of the road, because people don't wanna travel way out past Franklin to bring stuff and stuff, they just want gone, they wanna do a day thing, get everything cleaned up. Batteries, all that
We
kind of
should call
stuff.
Tim and ask him to come down and tell us what, so,
Got his number?
is there a book there? I mean, coming toward the end of the meeting.
Part of the town barn goes, ain't that much room there, so that
Not really much room.
wouldn't be very.
Village Burn owns that land right next to it, doesn't it, where that greenhouse or something was, or?
Part of it. I think we could do it right behind the village garage.
Yeah,
Maybe
so I'm
put a-
thinking where
Maybe
the-
put a stockade fence from the village garage along
What
towards
they-
the wood plant and have the dumpsters kinda,
Right.
What
Hid
they
in
would
there
ask
behind
from
it?
us as the town is to put up like a gravel area for them to put their dumpsters and to build something that people can walk, because they want to put in top load versus, because you get a lot more in it, versus the side load. So people would have stairs to walk up and they'd have somebody there so somebody couldn't make it up the stairs. If they just walked up with a railing, that would stay
What
there.
about down by the stump dump? Not enough room down there?
there could be enough room, yeah.
Do we use that anymore?
I just would worry about if any residents that live over there, they wouldn't
Well, that
wanna
was
see
my
the
thought, that's why I thought
dumpsters
down
and see the
towards Martin's,
fence.
down
and-
to Temp Barge.
Well, that's why I was thinking we'd have to do a stockade fence or something.
Yeah,
The stump dump area, that's, there's a possibility down there.
Right. If you have to take some of the fuel a little bit, if the town owns it anyways.
Yeah. With a little work, it could be done.
Okay, so you're gonna see if maybe he can come later, or?
yeah, that's what I was gonna
Do the
do.
Gray Gables maybe?
I'm gonna, if no one minds, I'm gonna skip the executive session
Yeah, yeah.
stuff, that way we don't have to keep everyone here.
Yeah.
So I'll go on to Scott with water and sewer, if you got anything.
I guess the town may have to put in some water pump stations by the sound. There's 2 or maybe even 3 houses on the upper end of the golf course road that have their own pumps. They're on the village water system, but the water gets basically to their house, but they don't have any pressure, so they've got their own pump and they're sucking from our system. There's 2 or 3 houses on the end of the golf course road like
How
that.
far up?
Down below your ex-husband's, that
Oh, it stops
that
before
ranch
him.
house,
Yeah,
that
okay.
ranch house, and I think the newer one that Claude built over beyond
That's
is the
beyond
same,
him.
the
But he
same
doesn't have
predicament.
the, yeah, he doesn't have.
And there's 2 of them on Green Avenue, I guess, trailers that are the same way, but the state,
They're above the reservoir?
yeah,
The
Oh,
last one they just put in
the
there.
state frowns on that. They say there's a chance of contamination. If their pumps were to quit or something, they can backfeed and draw in contamination, so it almost looks like if we're gonna keep those customers, we're gonna have to put pump stations. One at the golf course road, somewhere along by the vault probably, and another one on Green Avenue.
Is the golf course itself on?
No.
It's dark.
No.
So the state told you this?
Yep.
Or is it how much?
Well,
How much it
they
cost?
told Daryl, well, he's getting prices. You buy
A
a,
grant?
yeah, I think he's going through Eldridge and Elliott. They're
They always do well
they're
for us.
coming up with some plans or a route to go, and they're gonna try to look
They
for
did
some
all
grant
the
stuff too.
survey of our stuff. so they
Right,
should
they did,
know.
yeah, they did all the survey for that, but it's just we're gonna have to do it here within the next year or 2 for sure, I guess. It's something they're pushing, but it could be fairly pricey, cause it's, it's 2 pumps, so if one quits, the other one, they alternate back and forth, whatever. And it's down in a pit with that building on the top, and you gotta have power, and you gotta plumb it all in, so
and that
it's,
must be, it's like hooked to a check valve must be, so when they open up
I don't know
to
exactly
use
how it
water,
works actually.
it would kick it on, like, you know what I mean? Something has to tell it to kick on in the house when they,
Well, when it loses pressure, it would kick on, it works just like a regular small house pump, I would say, except it's just bigger. But I'm sure they're just guessing 15, 20,000 a piece, I would guess, I don't know, no idea, but that's just a wild guess. Time you do the building and everything, it's gotta be at least that, I would think.
Business under
for
ends.
3 houses.
Yes, I think there's 2, maybe 3 on the golf course, and I think there's 2 on Green Avenue, 2 trailers. And there's another one that's a possibility, but they do have their own well, so they're using that. But they do
I
have,
don't know.
I guess they can hook on, or village water is there, but they just don't use it,
Grade,
according to what I've been told.
area,
Okay, you got anything else?
That's about it.
848-3625. 3625.
Thank you.
Sherry?
Waiting on the time of the storage room being done at the fire station. Bobby's gonna be doing it. The insurance company said they can't pay for the roof, but we still need to fix it.
The
So
fire
we've got fire
station.
station. But the inside damage, they'll cover. So, but I have to get it done, then send them the invoicing, and then they'll pay it, so.
So the inside of the roof will be covered by our insurance,
Exactly.
but the upstairs or the upper
The
above
roof won't be, right. So that's something we're having button up for this year, see if there's, I don't think there's any new leaks, I think he's got most of them taken care of, and then we'll have to put it in the budget for next year to replace that section of the roof, or that side of the roofing.
Not outside or top.
Right, so that's that one. Generator is all hooked up good. The person came and looked at it, and he said it was all hooked up fine. The only concern he had was the fuel line on the ground on the outside of the building. Because if somebody goes out there and chops ice, they can chop into it, dump out the 2 tanks. Makes sense. He said what would have been perfect would have been the little cement thing I talked about a year ago, around the base of it, a little holding thing, so if that small tank would have ruptured, it'd have been contained, but now it's too late to do that.
Oh, it is.
So- Now I have, Kat is calling me back, they're having a hard time finding the price because it's an older generator.
Yeah.
Finding the part, should say not the price, the part. So he's calling me back, he said he'd give me a call back by the end of tomorrow. I've called him again, I'm calling, I keep calling.
What are they looking for, a new tank?
No, because you guys have the gas tank.
We have the tank, I was gonna
It's
say we
the
have.
basin underneath it. And it's an older unit,
Well,
so,
it's all one unit, that,
yeah, but, well,
it's
they
a
won't
tank
be able to
within
do
a
it.
tank now. The one we have is a tank within a tank.
Yes,
It's got a containment tank. If the fuel tank should ever rupture, there's an outside tank that.
on the one you have right now, and those are
Right.
both good, right? And then there was a big,
No, that's what's.
the outside,
That's
so it's
what's
all one
rotten.
unit?
That's what's rotten.
It's
yeah.
all one unit. He
Yeah, it's
asked me
all
that,
one
and
welded piece.
The way he was talking was 2 guys that I'll have,
It
yeah.
could be repaired.
Can you repair it?
I'm not gonna repair it, but it can be
It can be.
repaired.
Oh, I'd have to send it out to be repaired, and I'm wondering, I'll ask him that on the phone. When he calls me tomorrow, I'll ask him that on the phone to see if it can be repaired cheaper than.
Oh, it definitely can be repaired cheaper than buy a new one, I would say.
For the minutes, who told you the generator was hooked up fine? Where did that come from?
That was the gentleman from the people that come and do all of our maintenance on it.
So you had, the company came and did?
Yes, I went down and met with them.
Brookfield Services?
Yes. And he said, but what he did say though, to follow up, because we're talking about certified, he said, once we get that piece fixed, either way we want to do it, he said he would certify that. He said, but that electrical box isn't certified. He said, this generator actually ain't certified. And it's not supposed to be under a roof either.
So we have to fix all that stuff?
He said he'd let the roof go, but he will certify the breaker for it, and he will certify the generator.
Does that, does his report coincide or have anything to do with the report from the fire marshal? Is it the fire
No.
marshal that came?
The fire marshal did not come. I called and then they weren't able to make it because the gentleman called me
No,
from.
somebody was up here last month. You were there.
Plumbing
Fire
inspector
marshal.
and the fire.
Oh, that was the
marshal.
fire marshals and all
So
that,
this
yeah.
doesn't have anything to do with that?
Yes, it does.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why these people came. This is why these people
Oh,
came.
they came because they came, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
they wanted to have ends to certify it.
Okay.
And he said, this all looks great. The job that he did on the inside was great. It was the only concern he would be to do that. So he said, you gotta fix this quickly if you would have done that. And I said, huh.
Done what you said. Should've listened.
But anyway, we're okay with that. So that part is all said and done, and then, next. I also have PC Energy, name is Dwayne, will be coming up, he does work for Daryl with water and sewer. When he comes up, he's gonna look into the holding where the separator is and see if they can set up an alarm system, because we don't have one of those set up yet.
So that doesn't get grandfathered in from when it was built, they make you update it. Must be.
Yeah, because, or we can seal up all the drains inside the fire station, because it's all about containment.
What about every house in Richford that has a drain in the basement?
Yeah.
Well, that has an oil trap, but they want an alarm in the trap.
Yeah.
But it never had one when it's brand new.
Because the tanks aren't in, the inside tanks aren't in the holding thing either, so as soon as they leak right into a drain, which then goes right out to the separator.
There's no alarm.
And there's no alarm system telling us it's happening.
So what's the unit that we need the alarm system for, what's it called?
Separator.
Separator.
Oil and grease separator.
Oh, what?
Oil and grease separator.
Okay.
And I already told Joey, the complaints about lights down at the fire station, they're coming to shut the timer completely off. I said, we don't need a timer. If it comes on at dawn, or dusk goes off at dawn, that's all I care about. Can you fix that? And he said, yes, I'm gonna disconnect the timer altogether and they'll just come on with the lights.
That's the outside one?
Yep, so that'll fix that problem.
So they will come on twice a day, off and on?
Yes, they're supposed to, in theory.
What are they doing now?
They're flickering throughout the day. So I don't know if there's something going on with the timer, but you don't need to have a timer when they're already light sensitive.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And I think that's right where I'm leaving off, and you guys are already talking about garbage, so we're good.
Okay, Joe?
Did you call them?
Ain't much this
No,
time, but things are
agreed.
pretty good.
No, not yet, I'm talking.
I was gonna say, did you call them and I missed it? Okay, so you're gonna come,
Go ahead, we'll wait for you if you wanna try calling him.
take a break?
Is it 9 to get out?
Yeah.
We started on the sand in Shell Lake.
Oh, and she said, go ahead and
Yeah,
fix that.
couple days into it.
Mm-hmm.
Sifting pretty good now. We got the bugs out of it.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's a good number, it's not a working number.
Not a working number?
Oh, we'll get a hold of them about it.
The
It's
fire
not
station
precedent,
back door
but
that got backed into by the fire truck, the insurance company talked to them, and she told me to go with my lowest quote. And then, because we have quite a high deductible, then send her and they'll send a check out to send it directly to her. But I sent all my quotes for this, because I said I had 2 different companies and I had 2 different quotes from each one, replacing the door, one fixing the door, so
So we're gonna fix or replace?
we're gonna fix, we're gonna cheap, and that's what she said, we would go with the cheaper, so. I made a
okay.
phone call into them too.
Job, you don't have too much, you said?
No, things are pretty good. We started on the sand pile, so, we're doing good.
Okay, Linda?
Can you, mash down the dumpster sometime soon? And another thing that, I had to lend out a lot of kayaks this weekend, and that, the hasp on the
Lock.
lock, I was trying to think what it's called, padlock. I have to take, maybe, a man could probably could do it, but I have to take a screwdriver to pry it. And then, which is okay, but then putting it back, the door must have sunk or something.
I imagine when
Yeah,
the
it
shed
just,
is,
it
the shed is
just
dropped.
doesn't, I don't have strength to, if there isn't a man there to do it.
We can check it out. Try
Yeah,
to
if
lift
you
one
could just get it
corner.
so I could put that back up onto it, because I can't lock the lock if I don't.
Probably have to lift one corner of the shed and get the door to.
Yeah, yeah, or
Straighten back
maybe the
out.
door itself, I don't know. I don't know about it, but could you look at
I'm
that?
sure it's the shed is dropped, one corner, something.
I just couldn't, and this weekend I had to leave it unlocked, because people left the kayaks, but nobody was there. And Robert wasn't open, so usually it's no problem, because Robert does it, but, anyway, is it me? Let's see, not a lot. The firemen, somebody needed some service, and they painted 9 of the 80 fire hydrants. Daryl, since they belong to the water and sewer, Daryl bought paint. They've done 9, he's done 9 of them, or 2 of them have done 9 of them, and they're color coded, I didn't know this, on how much flow each one has. I guess they go red, green, so that everybody knows what the flow is. I don't know if I brought this up last time. That sliced up dog incident. Did I talk about that at the end?
No.
Okay. I gotta give Tracy credit here. She was in Maine, on vacation when she got called about the dog that the lady got mad at and sliced up with a steak knife. And right here on the street, on Main Street. And she took care of it from Maine. She talked to the police. She got it in the at Bev's, it's called, where the animals go. And then she kept calling me, and I talked to the police, and we got it all taken. I guess she went to court, but Tracy also, while she was up there, found a place for the dog if it got out of the Bev's place and wasn't going back to the home. So I gotta give her credit for doing a good job on that with the dog. She wasn't even in town, yeah. We worked with Andre, the sheriff. He gave out 2 tickets the other day. One was for the spinning around and used the cameras. They worked well. Of course, the guy said it wasn't him, but he got a picture anyway. He can tell the judge that. Andre said, yeah, they'll probably throw it out. His grandfather said, no, it wasn't him. And that was the one under the, right by the bridge. And then there was another one, an accident up in Stevens Mills. Archie noticed on, right after that the cameras down the street just were not working. They're brand new. So he came in and told me, then he called the place. They told him how to fix them. He was nice enough to go in and fix them. And they're sending him a part, and they told him how to put the part on, so they're on again. Paul Martin and your husband and his brother.
Yep.
I thought you would tell him this.
I was going to, but I had all the stuff about the fire station, I didn't get a chance to
They
bring it up.
came and met with somebody
Yep.
to do the clock up at the top. You heard, if you heard it the other day, it went off twice while it was
Yeah.
settling. They're gonna try to get it going, and they have to clean it once a year, and it's
Yeah.
filthy up there. Paul was here today, and they gotta clean it, they gotta vacuum it, they gotta wash it down. He's gonna get some things to put under it to, in case the oil drips. And he also, it's very interesting, he opened up the side wall here as you walk in the front door.
Those walls.
That wall is the weights, and they go way up to the top of the building, but they're gonna have to hold them when they fix it, I guess. They can't have the pressure on it. So it's quite interesting to see that going on. So we're gonna have the clock bonging,
Yeah,
so
all
we'll
the
get some
guys-
complaints probably.
All the guys were into it. They were
Oh, yeah,
pretty
well, it's gonna be
happy about it.
nice. We always
Yeah.
remember the clock bonging, you know,
Yeah.
so. There's one other thing. I don't believe in my heart that we're ever gonna have a dog census this year. I don't know how the rest of you feel, but I haven't seen one yet. We've got $1,500 set aside. I think I gave you at the last meeting about 30 cats and kittens that this organization had taken care of for us, the Cat Crusaders. And I didn't know if we could probably make a little donation out of some of that money that we're probably not gonna use for that. They took care of, did I give it at the last meeting? It was 30 cats.
Yeah, it was.
In 1 week, they just kept coming and they spay them and they find homes for them, and it's our problem, but they come up and do this. So they're Franklin County. So did you wanna give them anything? I think
Probably should.
they said it, $75 pays to spay, neuter, and vaccinate, and chipping a cat. And not chipping it in a wood chipper, but chipping it with an ear chip. I should have
Put a chip in it.
Yes, I thought putting it in a wood chipper. So, I don't know, do you wanna give them $500 or something? I mean, I don't think we're gonna use that money this year, it's almost January. When we're doing the new budget. Is there any-
How are they funded now?
Donation. Volunteering, it's all volunteers. Donations allow us to maintain consistent funds, and they're always happy to get dryer, canned cat food, pee pads, paper towels, you know, things like that. But I guess it's all donation. So, it's up to you. It's Jamie Rushford, you all know her. And they've been doing this in Richford for quite a while. And I guess they figured maybe they'd send us a thing, just see if we wanted to give them a little money. I mean,
I'd make it.
I wouldn't give them all your 1,500.
oh, no, I'm thinking 500, that would take care of, not 10 cats, but 8 or 9 cats. And, it's up to you.
Well, it'd help keep them going. They're doing a service for us, I
They
guess.
are, they don't charge us anything for this, they don't charge us a
I
thing.
make a motion for $500 to be donated to them.
What are the town's obligations on cats?
Cats and dogs,
Basically the same as dogs?
it says in the laws, whatever they're called, statutes, we're responsible for domestic, it's cats and dogs. It doesn't list any other animals, just cats and dogs. So, some people think it's not cats, but it is. The reason cats get out of our control is because supposedly dogs have to be, you know, registered and have shots, whereas you don't know about cats. There's so many cats. I guess I get calls all the time. The trailer park's filled with them. There's another part of town that's just filled with, and then they keep having litters of kittens, and you know, so they're wild cat. Nobody owns them. And they will come up and they will take care of them. And they've been doing this for a couple of years, and they tell me, they said they'd give us in fact they did. I had a monthly report last month. That's why I knew they picked up 33 cats. But she said, I'll be happy to give you a monthly report if you want it. And I said, yeah, it's fine. So.
Okay, someone want to second her motion?
I'll second it.
Okay, so. Aye.
All those in favor? Aye.
I think that's all. I don't know. We'll talk about, I see you have the mowing contract on here, and I will talk about that in executive session.
Joey, you got something?
I'm good.
You good? Darlene?
I just wanted to know if the town had any interest in Paranic's property or had any intention of trying to take ownership of that.
Well, isn't it going up for tax sale?
Yeah.
Well, then we have to wait and see if anybody's interested. Somebody might buy it.
Well, I thought I just heard you talking about Far Street.
We owned that because nobody, that was 2 years ago. That's like just coming to us now.
So Michael moved away, or?
I don't
Lost
know,
interest?
but my concern is it's going up for tax sale. Yeah, you're right, Linda, it is going up for tax sale, and that makes it available to anybody. But to
That's
me,
the
it's
law.
more important to the town as a community because of where it sits and because of its significance to the project to extend the rail trail and the Northern Forest Canoe Trail. I mean, I just heard Sherry talking about how bad that it looks down there with, you know, and how, compared to what it looked like when somebody was taking care of the area.
A mortgage holder might wanna have an interest in that.
Yes, and then if somebody else purchases it, they may or may not have the same mindset or ideas for the property that have been developed over the last 30 years.
Didn't Michael already sign the easement over to us for the rail trail?
Yeah.
He signed an easement, yes, there's an easement there, but there's nobody taking care of it.
Right.
I think it's our obligation to put our things up for tax sale, so we can get taxes on it if somebody buys it. And if it doesn't go for tax sale, it would come to us anyway.
I don't know that that's
Also-
your obligation, that's
Oh,
your
I feel
opinion,
it
I
is.
guess, I don't
Okay,
feel it
it's my
is.
opinion.
My opinion is that it should be under the ownership of whoever is going to take care of it and use it in the best interest of the town. If that's a private owner, then so be it, but
There is there is a lien on that property. There's a mortgage on that house, so I can't imagine that people who own it are gonna allow it to go up for tax sale.
okay.
I don't know that, but
Mort had expressed interest in it, said his mother-in-law wanted to put a gift shop in there, so.
who?
Mort. Mort's attached to it.
This is hearsay, but I heard there was a conversation where that person is not gonna pay the taxes on it.
Okay. Well, then it goes.
The one who holds the mortgage?
This is hearsay, again, this is me having a conversation, not today, with somebody else, but that's what I heard.
And of course, the people who have the easement between the road and the river, that's a forever easement. So,
And they are, the Northern Forest Canoe Trail is interested in keeping it up or maintaining it or they want it to be maintained. I think it's unrealistic to expect them to do that at every property that they own an easement through along the trail. Long-term, but to get it back up to snuff, they're willing to pay somebody to to get it in, back in compliance. It's out of compliance right now with the,
Didn't they make
Zoning.
all those promises though with zoning that they were gonna mow it once a month and?
well,
Yeah.
they made a commitment to get the easement. And I believe the property owner made the commitment to do all of the other stuff, the maintenance. I think it fell back on both of them because the agreement was between the two parties.
And now he's gone, so it's a moot point, right? There's no more agreement because he's not here.
As far, I haven't talked to him, I don't know where he is.
Somebody mowed it the other day, didn't they?
Mowed his lawn up front.
Yeah, I wonder who was that.
John maybe?
Who?
John Libby maybe?
John, yeah.
That is pretty rough, so.
That's who I thought I did it, maybe.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I asked somebody to mow it.
Oh, you did? That was nice.
Okay, well, I mean,
I asked somebody to mow the front part,
Yeah.
but nobody has gone in the back. And I was talking to Sherry when we first
Oh,
got
it's
here.
horrible back there. I got
And she
pictures.
was commenting to me on what happened, and I
He's not
said,
there.
no
How
one
much
wants.
acreage is that?
I don't know how much acres.
Do you know how big that
Might
is?
be
No, it's probably a little under a quarter.
Under a quarter, the whole piece that he owns.
but I see, I don't believe that he's I don't think Michael's responsible to mow it. I think it was a deal between the canoe trail and, or whatever their thing is, and zoning, right? You should know, you were on zoning.
Yeah, but
Because we just talked about it the other day for over 45 minutes, but it happened before I was on zoning, so I don't know what the deal and the commitments were that were made between each party, but I know that there was
Why
supposed
did
to
it have
be.
to be zoned? Why did it have to go to zoning?
Because it was never supposed to happen.
What was never supposed to happen?
It was never to be camping down there, it was never to be a recreational area.
Oh, and then the
It's way it
canoe
was
trail went in
zoned.
and they wanted camping.
Yep,
So they had to change the zoning,
yes.
and they did.
They had to change it to do it, it had to be a conditional use.
Okay, so, and they approved that, I'm taking it.
Under the circumstances
And
that they would mow it
Okay.
at least once a month from May to October maybe or
Now,
something.
who made that agreement?
The DRB board and the zoning administrator and the Northern Forest Canoe Trail, is
Not
that?
REACT, but the.
No, not
It
REACT.
wasn't them, okay. So the trail, huh, must be written somewhere.
Yeah, on the permit, probably.
yeah,
No, I think it's written on the permit.
Well, it's probably on the variance or whatever.
yeah, it should be on the zoning.
But yeah, and we went kayaking, we came in down there, landed, and getting out of there was just a mud pit, and then on top of that, you up front, and you're just buried in weeds and.
Regardless of what may or may not be on paper,
Yeah.
I
It needs
feel
to be
like
taken care of
it
by the
needs to be
town.
taken
I
care
think-
of,
I'm
and I
sorry, I don't
think-
think you should pick it up, but I still think the town has to have some respect in it. It's a beautiful place. We have a lot of canoers coming in, we want to print it.
I don't think you'll ever be able to achieve
share it.
anything on your town plan, which includes the rail trail and the Northern Forest Canoe Trail, unless that is,
Yeah, I agree with her on
Taken care
that.
of.
We need to at least take some partnership in it somehow to make sure
I
it's
try to keep
maintained.
Davis Park looking good because they go down there, so.
Yep, that looks good down there.
REAC is willing to work with you on it. I mean, if that is something that,
But what would the town, I mean, if we bought that house at tax sale, what would we do with it?
Right.
Like, I understand that,
Well, it'll be off the tax rolls.
oh, I know, it's just one of those things, it's like, I don't know,
Sell it to more.
what could you do with
Let
it?
him buy it himself at tax sale. I mean, that's the point of tax sales. People get to go and bid on properties.
No,
No, it's not the purpose of tax.
no, it is. No, I'm just, my mind was going someplace else.
well, have you
The
got an
question for a later
easement
time,
from
I guess.
for
Because
the,
my mind went
his
somewhere else with it, like
property?
amounts and
He won't
stuff.
sign it.
They won't sign it.
so how are you gonna achieve that, if you don't have the other property?
He's not the only one that has a sign, is he?
No, he's not the only one.
You said that the ones that hadn't, last time I followed up with you, you said the ones that hadn't signed were all down this end, the bank, Morris,
Oh, the bank, Morris,
and Weatherby's, I think.
Mm-hmm.
All the rest have signed?
Willing to.
Willing to, just
McAllister.
haven't, but willing to.
McAllister.
I don't believe
Two
so, no.
McAllisters? No, I didn't think so, that's
No.
down the other end.
Yeah,
This is a feudal project,
yeah,
20 years,
21 now.
21 now. And we've had several people that,
I think it's really sad because it's such an opportunity. And I think it's sad that we're sending violation letters to an entity that has trail that runs through Maine and Vermont and New Hampshire. I mean, it's not just in Richford, it's through numerous
Maine and
states in this
Canada,
region.
Canada.
And they chose us to be one of their trail towns. And I just think that it's crazy not to take advantage of that designation and really build on it.
well, I think that's what we've
I
been
mean,
doing. We put in a kayak place. we
Especially
put
now,
in-
especially now with the
We just
pandemic
really cleaned
and
up.
more people going outside and trying to do the outdoor recreation thing.
Yeah.
Me and Jacques talked a couple, or well, about a week or so ago now, about all that property that's down there.
Oh.
And my
Beautiful
theory,
property
and
down there. You could clean it up.
And now you have a little bit of money for your economic development. Somebody to help maybe coordinate grants or whatever that,
Somebody to get the rail trail done, my God.
to work on it. I mean,
Well,
somebody
yeah,
that's
it's been
getting
20
paid
years.
to do that.
Well, we've already hired Bethany to do it for 15,000 and it's still not done.
But
That was supposed to be done in a year.
did she get paid? I mean,
It's part of the contract, she has a signed contract.
it was made long, I don't know, it was all done before I was here.
but the last I knew, she hadn't got paid anything yet.
All she has to do is put a bill in.
But I'm saying she may not be, if she hasn't put a bill in, it's probably because she hasn't
Completed.
spent a lot of time on it.
Well, I've emailed her a couple times and she says it's, the holdup is not liens, what do you call them?
Easement.
Easements, I mean, without the easements.
I think there was progress being made and then COVID hit and I
Yeah.
don't want to use that as
Everything
an
kinda
excuse
died.
for everything, but she was
She was
kind of
working on
ramping
it.
it up.
So you're
Well,
making headway.
In 20 years, they didn't get one single easement signed, and I worked on it for a portion of time, and I got 4 signed, and 2 that are going to sign. One that we don't need to get signed because we come up with a plan to change the trail. And
One we had
then,
access to anyway.
and then,
They would
and
pay.
then met with the other 3 people who haven't signed. I met with 2 of the 3 people. She emailed with 1. And then that was kind of the end of it. But, I mean, I don't know, it takes time.
Well, 20 years. A lifetime.
Well, I did I only worked on it with her for 3 or 4 months. I mean, we did get
I
a few of them done.
was encouraged, Andy, when you did that. I thought that was, you know,
I thought it was good.
I thought it was an accomplishment.
But
Well, we gained quite a lot on it.
Yeah. But
Right,
Not
if
enough.
a person buys the house on Main Street, I think that's what Darlene's trying to say, it's just, it could hinder this even more, or.
Well, it's not it wouldn't hinder the rail trail because, or the extension
the
of the rail
easement.
trail, because I already got the easement with Henrik, so that's gonna carry on with
No, I
the next
understand
owner.
that, But if you have somebody who is enthusiastic about the project, they might help keep the lawns mowed and do their part, as I think that's what she's getting at versus fighting it.
On the town's behalf, I 100% get that, but what do we do with a house if we buy a house on Main Street? I don't know what to do with it.
Right, right.
We're out the tax money. It's another piece of property that we own. If we could figure out a good use for it, or that made
if
sense.
we don't like who's buying it, we can bid on it at the tax sale. If we think it's gonna go to whatever, we can bid it up.
It's not a matter of liking somebody or not liking them. You don't know what their end game is.
You don't with any property.
It's not a popularity contest. It's, you
Right.
know,
But
and I think even if the town just bought it to rent it, not that you're in the business of renting properties, but if you could fix it up enough just to have it inhabited, I think there would be less vandalism and you would have control over who you're renting it to they would be pretty much they'd be paying more than what you've got into it, I think.
I get it, but it creates a lot of work.
We're not in the real estate business unless we have to. When we get stuff walking. Maybe Mart will buy it, put it in a shop. Sandy wants to, last I heard, she wanted to put in a gift shop for Mott Gifts. That's again hearsay, but I got it from Mart. Well,
Hopefully,
he makes most sense buying it because it's attached to his building.
yeah.
Okay, we gotta
I
move
would
on.
agree with that, except he didn't want the Northern Forest Canoe Trail. He wasn't on board with that project either. So not only was he not on board with the rail trail, he's not on board with the other project either. So if he buys it, I mean, unless he gets the same letters that, Northern Forest Canoe Trail gets, I don't think he's gonna maintain that backyard.
Does he maintain his own backyard there?
No, I wouldn't say so.
I don't go back there.
Everything up there's grown up. Everything up there is just.
Well, it's a
weeds and grown
backyard.
up everywhere.
I mean, a lot of people don't maintain their backyards.
Right.
So while we're talking about this, I'm interrupting about it a little bit. So as I was saying before, me and Jacques talked a week or so ago after a DRB meeting. Me, him, and John Libby sat out front for what, 45 minutes and talked about some stuff. And that whole property the town owns is about 8 acres. That whole bottom piece of property, and it's probably the most beautiful piece of property in Richford. And you know, after leaving a DRB meeting, you know, our minds were kind of focused on DRB stuff, and you know, we're getting ready to start sending out some letters. You know, we're meeting with our town attorney tomorrow, trying to crack down on some people, you know, some places that need to be cleaned up. And my theory on that is, I feel like we're throwing stones and we're living in a glass house when we have a piece of property that we don't even maintain. And I know we don't have a ton of money to throw at it or spend at it, but one thought I had was we had budgeted some money towards paying our portion for the rail trail extension grant that I don't think we're gonna need this year. So I know the town guy's time is valuable, but if we own our own excavator and we have a man who knows how to run it, it's a lot cheaper to send our excavator somewhere than it is if we were to rent one at $100 an hour to have him come. So I just throwing it out there to Jacques, I said, well, if you spent a couple weeks down there with an excavator and just went through the woods and just took out the underbrush,
All the way down.
just take out the underbrush and the dead trees and don't disturb anything, you know, just clean the underbrush out and try to make it so that the ground is fairly smooth, and you could just seed it with winter rye or oats or something so you could have an underbase. I'm like, that would look pretty, you know, it would be a start. And maybe up on that far end towards where Roberts is, because
That needs to be cleaned up.
well, you got a canoe access way down here, but for me, it makes more sense for the canoe access to be where our building is, because people take them, they go to East Richford, they come all the way down, and then if they unload them down here, now they gotta drag them all the way back up to Roberts to put them in the shed. So we own the property right there. I mean, we could put a small access to the river right there, because you cannot get out of the river right there. It's all grown up.
They
It's
might do another
a
one
mess.
for us, the canoe trail.
Well, I don't think we would need them to. We have an excavator. We have all the
We own
power
an
in the world.
Excavator, we have one now? We own one, or are you talking about buying one? We have one.
No, we have one. We do all the ditching with it. I
Oh,
mean, you
right,
can,
right, yeah.
you know, a couple weeks, I know it's a lot to ask, but, you know, even if the road crew built the town back for their time and you paid their hours for the,
Well, that's what I did with the playground when we expanded it. John gave us a bill, and it supposedly went from the grant money into the,
I just like to see visual change, and I think people in Richford like visual
Yes.
change, and for me, it sounds like a lot of work, but it's really, it's a lot of excavator work. You know, we talked about it, you could really clean that woods up in probably 2 weeks with an excavator.
Campus down there.
And you know, if you combed all the ground and you level it all out, I kind of walked through it. I mean, there's some spots that are, you know, a little bit wet, but most of it's pretty dry, and the spots that are wet, you could stay out of them.
You can see the river all the way
They've been in
through, that's
years.
why.
Oh, yeah, it's.
You would be able to see the river
River all
from the
the way.
park all the way to Roberts. If,
There's a lot of interest in developing that area, and it's been in the town plan for 30 years.
but this would, for me, without spending a
Any
whole bunch of
money.
money, it would be a very
Absolutely.
easy
Andy.
way to just get moving in the right direction on cleaning up an
I
area,
agree with you.
you know, and
And I think that, you know, if you could take it a step further and
Go all the
do
way
the
down
back
through.
of Hrenik's place, just mow it down like he had it last year or the year before, whatever,
Yep.
whenever it was, so that it just looks nice. And the library should be able to access that whole little, they put in an amphitheater down there.
Yeah, it's so cute.
With
but
little
it's not
benches and
leaves on
stuff,
top of
and-
every bench.
And nobody can even get to it. They put it in June, and
This year, they did.
in June of this year, when
And
they
it's
were,
really
they were
cute.
up here for a week.
And a lot of people won't even walk down from like Roberts coming back down to Willow Street. Like people won't even walk on that trail because you go down there, it looks like Harlem.
Yeah.
Like it's bad. And we own it. So we're allowing them to continue to do it. And like, you know, if you cleaned it up and you made it so you couldn't hide down there, people wouldn't want to be down there. You know, and I know it takes some work. It wouldn't happen overnight, but
I think it's a great
I
idea.
think if with a plan between Scott and Jock and some guys from the road crew, I mean, if there was time,
Do a little bit of.
That's something that wouldn't cost too much.
it wouldn't cost a lot of money because we own the machine. It's not like, you know, if you hire somebody to come in with a machine, you're $100 an hour. Well, we already own it. So, I mean, you can call it $100 an hour, but it's not costing the town $100 an hour.
I have the mow plan, you know, a diagram of where the Northern Forest Canoe Trail agreed to mow. And they, Noah had said, he talked to you when he was up here, I think, in June. But he said that he does have some money that he could, you know, I don't think that he has the resources to hire somebody here or find them and figure out who to hire and then, you know, coordinate everything. I think he's willing to cut a check if it's reasonable, to get it back into compliance. So if the town is willing to do that, he'll send you a check and then you
Oh, and
might-
that's just, you mean just taking care,
I'm
we're
just
back
saying
onto
this
that?
piece.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then, you know, then you've got some money, I guess, a little bit of money, so you wouldn't have to say I did it for free.
Yeah, why don't
And
you
you're
just
getting
do you know his number? I'll just call him.
I'd have to look it up. but
Can
I
you text it to me?
I'll text it to you.
I'll just call him and see if I can
And I'll text you
figure
the mow
something out
plan
with him.
too.
But what do you think? I mean, while we're on that subject, don't mean to bring it up during Darlene's time, but if we're talking about that area, I mean,
I think it's all one thing. I think it needs to be nice all the way down through there. We want that. We want that
as far
river
as
access.
time though, like, is that even an option
Oh,
or
yeah,
is it?
fine. You can do a lot of that stuff when the snow's here even. The idea is if you're gonna do it, then you gotta maintain it too.
Yep.
You
So
know,
we
you
would
don't
have to
have to
put
keep
it
it
on-
mowed or something down there if you do open it up.
We'll have to put
Once you
on the
open it
plan
up,
on
things
that.
start growing twice as fast.
Yeah, they do.
Well, like you say, you throw in a winter rye or something, it's better to have a crop of that than it is what's there.
Well, it's so thick right now, you can't even walk through it.
Oh, I
I
know.
literally, last summer, we went kayaking one day and we had our exchange student and we all came, we were trying to pick like, where's Roberts? Cause that's where we had to put the kayaks back. And we were close, but we were off by a little bit and it was a disaster trying to get all those kayaks back up through the woods and the brush and everybody broke out in hives and
That's not a good place to-
it was a disaster. And I'm like, that took the fun right out of doing it.
Yeah.
And besides the point, it's just a beautiful piece of property that we own.
Yeah.
You know, and if we're going around telling people, well, you gotta clean up your yard, well, that's our yard down there. And that's my theory on it. And if we can set an example, you know, visual examples to me they make the biggest difference. If I drive into Richford and I see something, like just the other day I come in and Slim had cleaned off that parking lot where
Yeah.
we're gonna pave it, you know?
Yeah, that looks so much nicer.
Well,
doesn't
yeah,
it?
like
Oh my God.
instantly you were like, I was like, oh wow, that looks nice, right? It was all high brush and I
Oh, you
mean,
mean down by the
Yeah,
Legion? Yes.
by the Legion.
yeah, but it's instant. You like your eye picks it up and you're like, it gives you a good feel and you're like, oh wow, that looks good.
I'm so excited about the Bresnahan house over there.
Bresnahan?
Yeah,
What's that?
you know where McNulty's live?
Oh, Sharon Bresnahan's house? They're doing something to it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're fixing it
I don't
all
Oh,
know.
up.
I've been over there for a while.
Gorgeous.
Oh, who bought it? Is it
I don't,
Herchippy's owned it?
I don't know who bought it, but
Really?
they didn't pay very much for it. I think
They're
it-
buying houses up here, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think they bought it last year and they've done a lot.
Really?
It looks really, and David Rye's house is looking good, and they're
Mm.
fixing that all up.
Okay, do you have something, Mayor?
Yes. I'd like to ask the select board if they would consider appointing Norris Tillison as the third lister for the remainder of the year, so that he could be our driver. Kim and I need to start our fall inspections, and it's hard to drive and observe housing at the same time. That's what Kim and I have been doing for the last 2 years. And now with the not being able to go inside, we need to get all our actual outdoor inspections and measurements, et cetera, done. No one knows everything, where to go like Norris does, so we didn't have to describe where to go and what roads to take, whatnot. He could get us there.
So he would essentially just be taking the place of
He would-
Susan.
Yeah.
You said driver though, is he just gonna drive or is he gonna actually work on plans and?
He would not be doing drawing, and he would not be doing office work. He might be listening to our conversations and discussions and stuff, being a tiebreaker maybe, so that's why I say actually appoint him as a lister. Because he would be involved in the
You just can't pay him as a
discussions.
driver?
You could pay him as a lister.
Well, that should be a lot more than a driver. Thought you said you didn't need a third lister.
We don't need a full-time lister, but we only, when we go out on our inspections on the road, so not out there 24/7. We're just, we go out, we visit all the houses that we have permits for, plus all the places we've got hints for to check on and whatnot. But it's a matter of having two sets of eyes, gathering two sets of facts, and someone to do the driving. And
So what are we talking for, like, are we gonna pay him $20,000, or are we gonna pay him $2,000, or are we gonna pay him $200?
20 cents.
I'm not going for the high end, but we're probably going for more than mileage. No, it'd probably be a few hundred.
Well, it's something we
The
should
money,
discuss in private.
the money must be there because
The
we
money's
had
there.
3 listers to begin with and Susan's retired or whatever,
Yeah.
so.
But yeah, half a year of money's there for one lister. But,
Well, we can discuss it in private, it's a new job.
we'll be starting next week going out, probably.
Are we doing a reappraisal this year, next year?
We sent out 19.
Thought we had to.
We have to, we're under order of the state to do a reappraisal. It has to be a full reappraisal because we haven't done one since 2006. We sent out 13 letters to every approved appraiser in all of New Hampshire and all of Vermont. We'll see if we get any.
Send out how many? How many did you send out?
13,
13 inquiries or whatever they're called?
yeah, 13 requests
Requests
for
for-
RFQs.
Now, back to your question, would we have to appoint, why do we have to appoint them as a lister?
Well, you don't have to, you could approve him as a driver for us.
Okay.
You don't have to make him an actual lister if you don't want to.
Okay, we can talk about that after. I think we can figure something out with that, no problem.
Back to the reappraisal. We had Vermont appraisers out of Essex show interest back in December of last year, but they never came forward with any kind of commitment or any paper contract of any sort. And as late as April of this year, they suggested that we do a partial do an update to our records.
But we can't, right? You said we had to do a full one.
Well, we could have done that if we had accepted that from them and signed something, but the state came out with an order in June.
Right.
So that's off the board.
And we have the money to do it, right?
Close.
Most of it,
We're
yeah.
close. We have most of it.
Mhm.
So we wrote up what we wanted again and sent it all out. And you have the copy. I'll print out copies and put it in everybody's boxes of what we sent out for an RFQ, or an RFP. So that's what I have.
Okay. I think we're good.
Back.
You good?
I'm good.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session to discuss interviews from Richford Ambulance, Northwest Access TV contract, town mowing contract, and Franklin County Sheriff's contract.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.